Today I have a makes video for you. Everything that I sewed in July, as well as 2 pair short that I sewed back in June. Before we get started, let me tell you what I'm wearing. This is McCall 7970. This is in a rayon chalet that I bought last year from SR Harris. I do have a video review of this. I'll post it up there and I'll pop up a little picture so you can see what it looks like. This is actually one of my favorite Maxi dresses. It's super comfortable. I wear it quite often running errands. So the makes that I did in July, I'll start with my favorite. I'll go to my least favorite, and then I'll just share the others with you. My favorite make was from the June 2020 BurdaStyle issue, and it's actually the jumpsuit that is on the cover here. Here's a picture right here. BurdaStyle had teased this photo of the jumpsuit in May. I was super eager to get my June 2020 magazine in the mail, but I didn't have any fabric that worked. Of course, this is so gorgeous. I wanted fabric like this and I couldn't find anything. So I kind of put it on the back burner, figured I would make it next year. However, there was a little challenge on Instagram called #SewingBowl-Challenge. And the way it worked, the woman that was hosting it, she actually had a bowl with 6 different options in it. And on her story, she would just randomly pick out each item that you were to sew. Mine ended up being a suit in neutral color, color blocked from a magazine or PDF. And there was one other option and I just don't recall what it is. Well, I was really stumped. I don't wear suits any longer. I'm not working. And I don't have a lot of neutral colors. Remember, my goal for 2020, one of them at least, is to get rid of those neutral colors. Stop sewing black to get more color into my wardrobe. So I was kind of stumped and I just really set it on the back burner and let it mull around in my head. And then I went, I made that jumpsuit in a neutral. It is black. In a neutral, my color block was sequin on top, black on the bottom. The suit is a jumpsuit. So there we go. I really like this. You might recognize this fabric. It is a Fabric Mart Fabrics mystery fabric, knit fabric. I'll link to that video above so you can go see that. This is a Ponte knit that was also from Fabric Mart Fabrics. I have absolutely nowhere to wear this, but I love it.
The jumpsuit is actually separate in the front. That front piece and that bottom piece are 2 separate pieces, and there's an elastic casing at the top of the waist. So your skin does show a little bit there. One thing I don't like is I think I would go longer, add length to the top so that it comes down a little bit more. Makes me look like I'm wearing high-waisted pants. There is a closure in the back, a hook and eye at the back of the deep scoop neck. It's a little bit difficult to get on and off, and I think I would like to have a zipper in the back instead.
The next one I sewed is a knit dress, just a very simple knit dress. It's hot here, right? Hot and humid, so I figured I'd get a lot of wear out of this. This I picked up at, I was going to say Walgreens, it's not Walgreens, Walmart. And it's L9400 by McCall's. It's a McCall's It's So Simple. Actually, what it is a reprint of Simplicity 1358. Simplicity 1358. I was really excited about this. I had this beautiful rayon knit fabric. I love that. It's kind of a boho vibe. I love the colors. I like pink. I always say my favorite color is purple, but I mostly sew pink, so I'm thinking maybe my favorite color is pink. Okay, so super easy to sew, and I put it on and wah, wah, wah. It's such a fail. First of all, I gave myself headlights. I tried not to, but I did. Second of all, it's actually too large. I'm gonna need to take it in. Third, I put it on. My husband said, "Is that a beach cover-up?" So it's not going to work the way I had thought. I could use it as a beach cover-up. It's very pretty. I think it would work really nice. Yeah, so this is going to be my least favorite, mainly because I don't like what it looked like when it was done. Love the pattern, and it's going to find different knit to sew it out of. There were 3 items that I sewed in July that I don't have with me right now. First of all, the Celeste dress from Itch to Stitch. I have a complete video review on that one. I'll link that above if you have not seen that yet. this Simplicity 8707 kimono style jacket. I have sewn 6 or 7 of these so far. The latest one was sewn out of a beautiful black floral printed eyelet fabric with tassel trim on the bottom. Just sewed from one of my sisters, brought it back when we visited her in Minnesota, which is why I do not have it. The other one was this top, number 103. This is from the, which one is it? From the Burda 32016 magazine. It's got the high-low. It's got the high-low hem, and it's got a pleat in the back, and it's got short sleeves. I sewed one last year for myself. It did not like it on me. My daughter came to visit in July, and she put it on, and she loved it. Now, she has broader shoulders than I do, so it looks so much better on her than it did on me. And so she liked it so much, I sewed another one, brought it with me to give to her when we went to Minnesota recently, and that was out of that tie-dye brushed knit. Now, I did also sew a couple pair of shorts. It's very hot here, hot and humid. And I found that I kept pulling out 2 pair of denim cut-off shorts. Well, sometimes I want to look a little more put together when I'm going places, and that's why I sewed the shorts. So this first pair was from the June 2020 Burda magazine, and this fabric is a floral print that I found at Hobby Lobby. It's the pattern is the 113 Bermuda short in the magazine. Hobby Lobby had this on display, sewn up in a little girl's dress. And so maybe the print is just a little too childish. I don't know what it is, but I've never worn them. I sewed them in June. I did a really great job on them, if I do say so myself. Super easy. It's got a nice little invisible zipper here. Got my little label in the back. It's a nice length, and I never, ever wear them. In fact, do you want to know how many times I wore them? I wore them once to take a photo, and I paired it with this top. This is a Simplicity 8601. I've talked about this one in other videos because it's one of my favorite tops, and I have sewn it multiple times in knits. The other pair of shorts that I sewed was from the Burda June 2018 magazine, and it is the 105 shorts. Someone had made a comment in my June tops video. I'll link that above if you have not seen that. When I had commented about how these would look great with white pants and white jeans, but it was just too hot to wear that. And they said, well, why don't you make white shorts? And I kind of went, duh. Why didn't I think of that? So I did. Here's my white shorts. I wear these quite a bit. It's got a nice little pleat here and pockets. Has an invisible zipper on the side. The only invisible zipper I had was from a Fabric Mart fabric bundle, and it had a little gold tab on it, and who cares? No one's really going to see that. Those shorts I wear all the time. So thank you for suggesting I should sew some white shorts, because that really was a dumb moment for me. In the photo, I paired the shorts with this top. It's a very lightweight button front, slight collar, cap sleeve top that is sewn from this McCall's vintage 1979 pattern. This is 6634. Now this pattern, I repurchased it in the size that I wear now, but I sewed this back in the day. I loved this. I sewed the top in a tropical print, which if you may recall, 79, early 80s, tropical prints were huge. I sewed the shorts, loved them, sewed the pants. I think they were in red. It's funny how you can remember way back when. Loved it, so I redid it. This was last year. I sewed this last summer. I did have to do a full bust adjustment on it. And you know what? This is the pattern where I originally learned to do the clean finish facing with your inner facing. I actually put a tutorial on my YouTube channel to share it with all of you. I had thought I had maybe learned it at an expo or one of the sewing gurus like Sandra Benzina, but it actually had been from this. Be sure to check out that tutorial if you haven't checked it out yet.
And here's the shorts and the top. As I said, I wear these shorts all the time. Now, one thing that I will say is they are a little bit too big. I've been doing intermittent fasting and I've lost just a few pounds, and it's starting to show.
The last item of my July makes that I'm going to share with you is this Issey Miyake pattern from 1987, Vogue 1893. this jacket. Do they call it a jacket? Yes, jacket. This is one of my Make 9 items that I set for myself in 2020. Well, of course, 2020 is proving to be a really, really weird year, and that's kind of an understatement. So I'm probably not going to sew most of the things that I originally set out to sew. But I did sew this one. Now this I had sewn originally 3 or 4 years ago out of this fabric that I absolutely hate, but I wanted to test the fit. Have you sewn Issey Miyake patterns? Most of the time, I don't know about you, but I cannot figure out how to alter them. And I knew I was going to have to alter it. This is a size 12, super oversized. So I figured I'd be okay in the bust, but I wasn't sure about the waist. So I'll see if I can find a picture, the original picture from when I sewed this. I'll pop that up. This was to test the fit. This actually was much easier to sew than I anticipated. So I liked it enough that I just sewed another one. This is a tiny little black and white. I know it's black, but it's got white, so that doesn't count. Black and white seersucker. Fairly lightweight. I think in retrospect, something with a little more drape might have been nicer, and I'll show you with the pictures. I'll show you, I'll model it for you, because I don't like it closed. But it's got such really unique features. Love the back. Love this pleat. Love this. It's got a little, oh, I haven't even erased my chalk markings. It's got a little triangle sewn there. Sleeves get rolled up. And this is what's really fun. These little flaps have pockets. Look at that. Just Issey Miyake patterns. If you have any of them, try them. They're so fun. And then I chose to use these buttons. I wanted to use rainbow buttons. And there's a woman on Instagram that sells buttons, and her rainbow ones were out. And yes, I could have bought a bunch of different cards to get the rainbow look. But I found these on Instagram from Super Textiles located in Dallas. And I just thought how appropriate for someone living in Texas. So I love it, little pop of color. And then of course I have a stash of old Vogue labels, so I added that in there also.
Now, as I mentioned, I do prefer this jacket unbuttoned. I love the way it just kind of flows and hangs loose. And if you've never sewn an Issey Miyake pattern before, there's really interesting techniques for sewing. All of the corners on here are mitered. They're really well written instructions. And each seam in this jacket is finished by stitching the seam, trimming to a scant 1/4 inch on one section, and then turning back the seam allowance over the trimmed edge and stitching it in place again. Makes for a really nice clean finish. It is a little petsy, but I did everything per the instructions because it's a designer pattern. It's Issey Miyake, and part of the fun is sewing per the techniques provided.
Those are my July makes. I was a lot more productive than I thought I was. Once I started pulling everything out, I realized I had sewn more than I thought. Now, considering I'm filming this mid-August, I know I'm a little late getting the makes video up. I don't think August is going to be a very productive month, considering I have only sewn one thing, and that was the top that I shared with you in the previous video. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I made in July and late June. Do me a favor, thumbs up on the video. YouTube likes it when you do a thumbs up, and they really like it when you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate the support that you're giving to my channel. I love connecting with you, even if it is virtually. Who knows, maybe someday we'll be able to meet in real life. Until next time, I hope you have a very blessed day and happy sewing. Yeah, YouTube likes it.